And let's get started. So we're going to start today in a child's pose, please. So coming from your hands and knees, bringing these out a bit wider, big toes together, sitting your hips back, walk hands forward. Just take your time coming into this pose, especially if you do start to feel quite tight around the hips. Let your elbows drop down, gradually let your head come down to the ground, either resting on the floor or with your hand underneath if you don't want to come all the way to the ground. And just noticing where you're feeling a bit tight today, whether you're feeling a bit tight around the lower spine area, around the lower back, or around the back of the hips, or maybe some tightness in the legs or the shoulders. Notice where your limitations are today, any restrictions in the body. And we'll just bring our attention to the breath, easy breaths, expanding the ribs, softening, relaxing down with each out breath, really dropping in, settling more heavily. Just noticing those tight areas, whether they can start to shift and relax and soften, settling down. I'm just going to stay here for a few more breaths. Get a sense of lengthening down through the spine, broadening across the back of the body, easing any tightness around shoulders, around hips. Let's just do about 2 more breaths. Letting each out breath drop you in more heavily. A sense of sinking into the ground. And then we'll just bring a little bit of movement by walking hands over to one side. We'll stretch down one side of the body. So move your arm as far across as it feels good. Let the other arm just relax down. You might even get a good stretch around the shoulder or the armpit and down through the side of the torso. And then we'll come around to the other side, so walk the hands across. You can take it a little bit further if you want more intensity in the stretch. Just another breath here. And then coming back through centre. Come on up to hands and knees. Let's bring these under hips and we'll just stretch out the legs. Tapping toes under, rock back and forward a couple of times. And to the other side. Nice big stretch. And then come into a seated position, so just hook one leg under. Come take a seat and cross legs. Okay, just sweep the shoulders a few times. Then bring hands onto your knees. That will also help to support an upright position. Just close your eyes or soften your eye gaze ahead of you. Let shoulders fall away from ears. And all we're going to do from here is tip the head down. So gentle stretch up through the back of the neck. You might even be pulling into the back body. And then start to find some movement. So we'll just tip the head over to one side. So keeping the head down, but we're just going to rock side to side. Just notice if you're getting any pulling into the shoulder, maybe down the back. Okay, and then coming through centre, we'll lift the chest, lift the chin, tip the head back, shoulders draw away from ears. So stretching up the front of your throat. And then we'll just tip the head over to one side, so it may not come very far, but we'll just explore the movement here. Just tipping over. Let the other shoulder fall away. Okay, and then just from a neutral position, so the head facing straight forward, we'll tip head over to one side, let the other shoulder fall. You might even just want to move forward and back a little to just explore the movement. And then coming over to the other side. Just tipping and rocking in a way that feels good. And then coming to a neutral position again. This time we'll turn the head, so keeping your jaw level with the ground. Around to one side. Notice if you're getting tightness creeping up from the opposite shoulder. And then around through centre and over to the other side. Also helps to notice if you're more restricted on one side than the other. Around to the first side again. And around to the other side. Coming to a neutral position. And this time we'll scoop the belly in, allow your shoulders to round out. And even rocking back on the pelvis, tipping the head down. And then we'll lift the chest, shoulders pull back and down at the centre of the chest. Tip your head, so we're lengthening up through the front line of the body and the front of the neck. Let's do that again, we'll curl down. Just hugging knees. And lift again. And then from a neutral position, I'm just going to turn the head around to one side and then float the same hand, with the hand on the same side, float that behind. Keep gently pressing against the opposite knee. Let your eye gaze trail behind. Notice that the front shoulder tries to curl inwards, we're going to keep that broad. And then coming through centre. Reset and around to the other side, so turning the head and float the hand behind. Come around to the first side again, take a breath in as you move through centre and a breath out as we turn. Just notice what your body, where your body is restricting this pose. Where is resistance coming from? Through centre, take a breath in. And a breath out as we revolve. Really notice what's happening in your body. Any tightness or restriction in your range of movement. And then we'll come through centre and let's move into a side stretch. So bringing hands either side of you, float one arm up and curve across. So we want to do this without collapsing into the pose. We keep lengthening up. So a nice long line through the side body. Both arms wide as we pass through centre and over to the other side. Just tip your head to wherever it feels good, feels natural. And we'll just do one more to each side. Take a breath in as you come through centre. And a breath out as you reach over. And then with your next breath in through centre. And a breath out as we sweep. Okay, coming out, turn over onto hands and knees again. Let's stretch out the legs again. One leg and the other. Don't break anything to you. Alright, from hands and knees, tucking toes under, we're coming up to our downward facing dog. So tucking toes, lifting your hips high, push your hips all the way back. So you can have as much of a bend in the knees as you need to. Let's pedal on the spot, so we'll draw one heel down at a time, bending the knee. Alright, and then reset your down dog. So planting hands firmly, press into every finger, tip your tailbone high and press your chest through. And then stretch around the shoulders, and allow the shoulders to move away from your ears, create some distance here. Okay, we're starting with the right foot. Let's step it outside the hand. So you might need to take a couple of steps to get it all the way forward. Bring the back knee down, release the foot, lift the right arm high, so we're adding on a twist. Then bring the hand inside the foot again, tuck toes under and step back. Coming to the other side, so left foot steps outside your hand, so if it gets halfway, then just take another big step to get it forward, drop the back knee, and then add your twist, so the left arm lifts. Hand inside, we're going to repeat it on each side, so tuck toes, push back, and the right foot again, steps all the way forward, drop the back knee, your arm, rotating the body open, plant the hand down, tuck toes, knee off, and step back, and one more time, onto the left foot, drop, open, hold for a breath. Hand down, tuck toes under, and step back. Let's pedal on the spot, lowering one heel towards the ground at a time. Try to keep tipping your tailbone up high so we're not curving through the spine. Okay, and then a reset. So, still pushing hips high, plant down to hands. Rise high up onto toes, bend knees deeply and push your belly towards your thighs, so we're in a crouch. Then shift your weight forward into a high plank, and then lift hips up and back into a crouch. Pushing into feet to float the body forward. Pushing into hands as we shift back. And one more time, coming forward, this time we're going to hold our plank position and then drop the right knee down, spin the foot out to the side. So opening up to a side plank. That's it, keeping the hips forward so we're making one long line with the body. When you want to look up to the top hand, plant your hand, pass through your plank, bring the left knee to the ground, spin the foot out. So that will help to rotate the hips and we land back heel. Reach your arm high, take a look up if you can. Touch down, pass through center, come to the first side again. So right knee drops. Opening out, and if you can keep your balance, maybe float the left leg off the ground. It's up to you if you want to try it. Maybe look up if you can. Touch down, through center, through plank. Left knee down, spin it out. So make sure your body is side on first and then choose if you want to lift the leg. So squeezing the glutes to stabilize. Touch down and come back to your down dog. Pedal on the spot. Alright, reset your down dog, and this time the right foot steps outside the hand. You can drop the back knee if you want to, or you can keep the back leg long and strong with the knee off. Let's add our twist. It's a bit more intensity here. Keep the back leg really strong. Touch down and step back. To the left side, huge step forward, so you can take a couple of steps or you can guide it all the way up. And the twist. Touch down. Okay, you've got a choice here as we come back. You can either do one more to each side at the same pace, or you can come even quicker if you want to follow me. So right foot steps and right arm lifts. Touch down and step back, so you can take it slow if you want to, or follow me. Step and open. Touch down. And if you're doing it a bit quicker, let's just do one more on each side. Lift the chest as we rotate open. And back. Here's our last one. Touch down. And this time we're going to walk feet up to hands. Enter into a forward fold. So we'll stack feet at hip width apart. Stack feet under hips is what I meant. And lifting hips high, direct your body down. You can hold onto your elbows if you'd like. If you don't want to hang upside down, then you could be bringing forearms to your thighs. And you can either hold still or you can sway from side to side. See how that feels. Just go with whatever feels best for you today. Easy breaths. Really let your upper body feel heavy. So loosen up, notice where the restriction is in your body, where there's any tightness that you're holding. Okay, and then let arms hang loose. Bring palms to your shins and lift halfway up for that back extension. Or you might even have hands to your thighs, just it feels better so that we're not directly on the knees. And then sit your hips back and down, float your arms high into a chair pose. Try and keep that lovely long spine. Drop the hips a little bit lower here. And then we'll stretch all the way up. Might even like to look up to the ceiling, keep stretching the fingertips high, and then bend the knees and melt your way back down into your forward fold. Coming halfway up, hands to shins. Rock your weight a little way forward here. And then as you sit back, keep your spine long, dropping back into heels, arms sweep up. Sit even deeper. Good. Now drive down into your feet as we stretch up high, keep pulling in through the belly, tailbone lengthens down, and melt your way down. Forward fold. Let's just do one more round of these. So halfway lift. Sit back and down. Arms reach up. Drop in. And so we're going to stay standing, so reaching up tall. And then bring the hands to your center. Close your eyes if you want to and just refocus, reset. Okay, so just take a moment here, feel your feet pressing into the ground, spreading toes. Notice if your weight is forward in the balls of the feet or back into your heels. Maybe it feels like you're rolling inwards or rolling outwards. So just find what feels best for you, nice and centered and stable. Okay, and then eyes float open, sweep arms down, bring them up high. We're coming into a side stretch, so drop one arm down. You could have hand to hip, or you could stretch down your leg. You could even separate feet a bit more if you need a wider base. So lengthening down the side body, maybe as we give your legs comfortable. Coming up through center, and over to the other side. So keep lengthening up through the torso so that we're not collapsing in this pose. Reaching arms high, keeping the spine long, just bend the knees a little, reach one arm forward, one arm back, and rotate from the middle back upwards. Stretch up tall again, arms high, straighten the legs here, and then just soften the knees a little to enable us to keep the spine long as we come to the other side. Coming up, diving into a forward fold again. Just hanging out, maybe move over the legs if you want. Then lifting halfway up, flat back extension. Sit hips back and down, arms reach up. Drop in even deeper, nice. Extending up high. Bring the hands together. And let's come into our side stretches again. So arms sweep down and reach up. Drop one arm down. So hand to hip if that helps to support your, especially if you've got your lower back sensitivity. Or you can stretch down. Coming up through center. Breath in here. And a breath out as we come to the other side. Support if you need. Hold for an extra breath. Coming up, forward and back, so just soften the knees a little so we can maintain that upper body position. Reaching back, against closed, that feels good. And breathing in through center. Breathing out as we come to the other side. Reaching up and dive into your forward fold. Just let your body hang out here. Coming halfway up, hands to shins. Sit back and down, maintain the length of the spine, arms reach up, stay nice and low. Good. And reaching up high and bring hands to your center. Step feet together, moving into a tree pose. So picking up one foot, bring it to your calf, or you can keep toes on the ground, or guide it up to your thigh, it's your choice. Pressing the knee out wide, whichever position you're in, but you want to make sure that the hips stay straight towards the front. And see if you can bring your eye gaze straight ahead of you so we're not looking at the ground. Holding strong. And then float arms wide. Just soften the elbows. Try and take a look down one hand or down to one hand. Coming back through center and around to the other side. Coming through center, hands touch. And step down, come to the other side. Nice. Okay, so coming low or high or toes on the ground. Right, and then floating arms open. When you're feeling steady, shift your eye gaze down to one hand. Might be looking at the hand or beyond. Same. Okay, and then around to the other arm. Or hand. Through center. Hands come together. Very nice. Step down and just shake it out. Step in the twist. Get the arms, stay around the body. Big or small one you choose. All right. So feet come under hips again. Bring your hands to your center. I'm just going to do one more round of those side stretches. So we want to be drawing in through the belly, containing the ribs, lengthening down through the lower spine. And so you can bend your knees as much as you need to. Feet could be under hips or just slightly wider, depending on what you need. Take a breath in as we stretch up high. And a breath out as we come over. So try not to collapse through the torso. We're stretching fingers away and parenting the feet at the same time. With your in-breath, arms reach up. With your out-breath, come over to the other side. Coming up. Reaching forward and back. So keep pulling in through the belly. The in-breath rise. The out breath turn. Coming up and dive down into your forward fold. Shake everything out. Hold the arms if you want, or keep them loose. Sway, you can move, you can hold still if you want. Alright, let the arms hang loose. I'm going to step the left foot back. Drive down into the front heel and reach your arms high. Now bend the back knee, so drop straight down into both legs. Keep pulling in through the belly, send the tailbone down. Hold right here and reach your left arm forward and the right arm back. Reaching arms up, straighten the back leg, shift your body forward and step into your forward fold. This time you're going to step the right foot back. You didn't do last time. Reach arms high, drive down into the front heel. And then we'll dip the back knee so we can maintain that lovely long line through the torso. Hold right here. And then we'll turn, reaching right arm forward, left arm back. Good, other way.
Oh.
Yeah, the hard way. And then reach arms high. Straighten the back leg, shift your weight forward, stepping in, forward fold. So tip your hips up and drop the crown of the head towards the floor. Going to do that one more time on each side. So left foot back, your in breath, sweep arms up. With your out breath, dip the back knee nice and low. Maintain your position from the hips down. Let's turn to the middle back. Reach one arm forward, one arm back. So we're turning towards the right hip. Inhale up, straighten the back leg, shift your weight forward and step in nice and lightly onto the feet. Right leg back. Drag arms up. Dip the back knee low. So keep pulling in through the belly and turn back down. Turning to face the left. Your in breath, reach arms high, straighten the back leg, shift your body forward, lift off and step in nice and lightly to your forward fold. Okay, we'll come and take a seat, hook one leg under and bring soles of the feet together. Hands come behind, roll shoulders back, so shoulder blades towards each other, push the knees down and out at the center of the chest. You can tip your head back to wherever it feels good, but still with control. And if you want to lift off even higher, you can lift the hips off the ground, keep pushing down into your hands, keep rotating your shoulders open, check in with your neck, make sure it still feels good. Hold for another breath. And slowly lower down. Bring your hands to your shins or your feet. Shuffle the hips back a little so that we can tip forward from the pelvis, so that we're not curving here. So we have a little wee shuffle here. And then lean your chest forward, out over the feet. So we want to make sure we're not dropping the head, so maintain a nice line up through the spine, up to the back of the head. Easy breaths. Keep working to lengthen your body forward. Trying to keep the belly long. Okay, and then sitting up, we'll hook one knee down. Bring the knee up quite close to the foot. And then hand comes behind, and you can say which side, hopefully it'll be obvious. We're lifting off into a spiral, I think that's this one. Yep, just bring your hand closer to your body. Bring it closer to your head, that's it. And then keep rolling your shoulders open. You might even want to look up to the ceiling, pushing your hips high, and drive down into your feet. Hold for another breath. and to lower back down. So switching the legs now. Turn the other knee down. Plant your hand by your hip and sweep on up. So you could look down if you need to, or you could try to let your eye gaze float up to the ceiling, which will help to rotate your body open even more. Stay for a breath and lower down with the out breath. We're going to do it one more time on each side. So flip the knees, plant hand under shoulder and lift off. Notice that feels different on one side compared to the other. Lowering to your next out breath. And switch again. Plant down and push off. Keep turning shoulders open. Another breath here. And come on down. We'll make our way all the way down onto our backs. No rush though, just take your time getting there. Bring your knees up towards your chest. So just wriggle the hips a bit further away as the knees hug in towards you. Open arms out wide and lower knees over to one side. So you can either keep the knees bent or you can extend that top leg. Cradle it in your hand or bring a hand over the top, your thigh, whatever feels best. Let everything relax down. And see where your head feels most comfortable. You might want to be looking away from the legs or looking straight up or whatever feels good to you. Try to really relax into the pose so we can identify what we're still holding on to. Where there's any resistance in the body, any lingering tension. And then bending up the top knee, let's come through center and lower all the way over to the other side. So you can keep your knees bent if you like, or you can float the top leg out long. With each out breath, let's drop in, shoulders feeling heavy. There might be some tightness around the outside of the top leg, maybe up through the torso, maybe into the groin. Could be somewhere different for everyone, so notice where you feel tight. Can you make your pose more relaxed? Deepen the pose with each out breath. Just a couple more breaths. Take your time. Let it flow with ease. And bending up the top knee, just realign your body. So make sure your hips are in line with your shoulders. Big toes touch and keep your knees wide. Bring your knees wide. Hold on to your shins or your ankles, whatever you can reach, and let the shoulders broaden and move towards the ground. If the hips are lifting off the ground, try and press them down. Keeping the knees wide, and you can stay here if you want to, or take it up to a happy baby, where we grab hold of the soles of the feet or around the shins. Again, we're still trying to press the back of the hips towards the ground. The knees wide, we'll let them move down towards the outer ribs, kind of like we're standing on the ceiling. Check in with the rest of your body. So we'll soften around the face muscles, around the jaw and throat, around shoulders and chest. down to ribs, belly, hips, the inner thigh tension, just easing down. And you can either hold it still or you could rock from side to side. So that might just be a gentle rock, or you might be playing with straightening out one leg at a time. And then eventually release your hands, bring soles of the feet together, lower to the ground with your knees open. Arms can be anywhere you want. They could be at your sides, they could be hands on belly, or you can sweep your arms overhead, just checking in with your shoulders, make sure they feel good, and loosely hold on to your elbows or forearms. Just shuffle the shoulders until they get comfortable. And of course, if this pose isn't comfortable for you at all, if there's any aggravation in the lower spine in particular, then you could bring the knees up and rest them together. Just close your eyes down. Just relax again, starting with the face, the jaw, throat, chest, around the rib cage and the belly, around the pelvis, inner thighs, down the legs, to your feet. And again from the shoulders, travelling up the arms, and relaxing your finger grip. Let your breath flow with ease. So feel the flow of breath drawing into your body and releasing out. See if you could relax a little more with each out-breath. Try and identify anything you're still holding on to. See how it would feel just to soften in that space. Always searching for ease in our movements, in our postures, in our breath, and of course in the mind as well. So we're focusing our attention, especially if your mind does feel a bit cluttered today. Focus attention on just what's here, the breath of your body, what you feel and what you sense. If at any point your body doesn't feel comfortable anymore, you can reposition. Stay just as we are for a couple more minutes. Notice each time your mind begins to wander. So when the body is still, where does your mind go? The exercise is to keep retraining your attention, refocusing to the space, to what's here. Let's stay just as we are for around 5 more long breaths, just at a natural pace. Let it flow with ease in your body. Eventually, when you're ready to move again, take it slowly, small. Maybe you just want to bring your fingers and turn your palms over, circle wrists, extending one leg at a time, and stretching arms overhead, taking up lots of space here, pointing toes, and even try flexing your feet. A bit of both. And then gather knees to your chest, arms sweep around, wrap them in. A nice release for the long spine again, putting the rock from side to side. And eventually make your way all the way up into a seated position. Take as long as you need. Shuffle and wriggle and roll as much as you want until you're comfortable here. And then when you are comfortable, start to quieten down, settle, just relax a little, drop on in. So there's a sense of sitting tall, lifting the heart space, lifting the crown of the head, but then slightly soften back to the edge. Make space for ease in your body, ease of breath, ease in your posture, and in your mind. And let's finish together with the breath, floating arms out wide and sweep them high. Hands touch at the top and come down your center, thumbs to your heart space. Thank you so much for having me.